DreAllDay.com.
You are now tuned in to the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you've expected to achieve is yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. That's that go-getter energy that you may not have heard of called that, but you know what I'm talking about. The energy that moves you to just go make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. When you're just tired of waiting for something to happen in life, you just go make it happen. You know what I'm talking about. We put all that together in one package, and what we do is make this intentional. Okay, so you heard the discipline, you've heard the confidence, you heard the mental toughness, you heard the personal initiative. We make all this intentional to where you're doing it when you want to, why you want to, and how you want to, instead of it just happening randomly as it does for most people in life. And we put all this in one package. What you get is the mindset, the method, the philosophy, the book, and the show known as Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. You are in the right place at the right time, because today's topic, what you chase runs away from you. Years ago, I had a friend who had, I guess this person's still a friend. I haven't spoken to them in a while, but I don't know. We'll just say I had a friend. I don't know. I could say have, but we'll just say had. They had a dog. All right, this friend had a dog. It's a female. She had a dog, and the dog was also a female. The dog's name was Juju. Now, Juju was a German Shepherd, maybe mixed with something else. It was a German Shepherd-ish looking dog, if you saw it. And the thing about Juju was, and those of you know what German Shepherd looks like, right? It's like a medium-sized to larger size dog. The Juju was a high energy dog. Now, dogs have different personalities the same way that people do, and Juju was a high energy German Shepherd, meaning that kind of dog that needs to be taken for a healthy walk every single day. And German Shepherd's a little bit bigger dog. You could kind of take this dog for a run. I remember taking Juju for a run a couple of times, and she would eventually run out of energy, but the dog had high energy. She was more of a sprinter than a like a distance runner. But Juju's owner, this woman that I knew, this friend of mine, she didn't really walk the dog as often as the dog needed to be walked. Therefore, Juju's vice, the thing that Juju would do to work out her energy, was anytime an open door was available in the house, Juju would dart out of the open door and then just go running out freely without a leash on. And what would happen is, when I first encountered Juju's act of running out of the house and the humans would start chasing her around. Juju's owner was like, oh man, now we gotta go get the damn dog. And she would start chasing the dog, calling to the dog, you better get over here. The same way same way a parent would call to their kid, like, you better stop doing that, you better get over here. But dogs don't respond usually to that same kind of communication. So my friend would go chasing after the dog, and the dog would run. And it's not like the dog would just keep running, and the person wouldn't keep running. The person would run, and then the dog would run, get far enough away, stop, look at you. And then when you got close enough again, the dog would run again, stop, look at you. And it was like this cat and mouse game, but it was a human and dog game chasing after this dog. And there was one time I remember I was watching Juju, and I was the only human in the house. Juju gets out. So, of course, I go chasing after Juju, and she did this. She ran. I would catch up to her. And when I got close to her, she would run again. Or if I cornered her and almost had her, it's harder to catch a dog than it is to catch a human being. Because the only place you can grab with a human being, you can grab them in many different places. Their body is structured the same as ours. So you can, give them a bear hug. You can grab them by the arm, the leg, a whole bunch of places, around the neck, whatever way you want to grab a human. But a dog, it's harder to grab them. It's hard to grab a dog by the legs because you're a tall human being and they're down on the ground. So the only place you can really grab them is by the collar. And luckily Juju did have on a collar, so I could grab her by that. Otherwise, what do? You got to tackle the dog. You might break their leg or something. So it's not as easy to catch a dog as it is to catch a human. I remember running after Juju, and this took me like 45 minutes. It's not because I got tired, and not because I'm slow. It's hard to catch a dog. It's hard if you're trying to actually catch one. I don't know if dog catcher is still a job, but that's an interesting job there. I didn't have a net or anything to catch the dog with, no kind of trap. But this is what happened. One day I was watching Juju, because this is what happened. I had been watching this show by this dude named Cesar Millan. Some of you may know who Caesar is. He's like this expert dog rehabilitation type of guy. And one of the things that Caesar would say on his TV show is that I don't train dogs. And people think they need to train their dogs to do certain things. But the issue that Caesar always pointed out was, it's not the dog that needs to be trained. It's the human that needs to be trained. And it's the dog that needs to be rehabilitated. because the dog has been conditioned to respond certain ways to humans who haven't been trained properly. So one of the things that I learned from Caesar, I read his book. This was, again, about maybe 10 years ago. I read his book and I would watch his show occasionally. And I learned somehow through something that he said, or maybe something I heard that was tangential to that, was that if you don't chase after the dog, then maybe the dog wouldn't run away. So I realized, and I wrote about this in an email in late December, those of you who read my emails, that if I didn't chase her, maybe she wouldn't run away. So I decided to test this theory. So one day, I wasn't going to do it on purpose, but I just figured next time it happened, I wasn't going to chase her. So one day I was house sitting for my friend, and I had the garage door open, and Juju got out, and Juju ran away as Juju normally does. But the thing is, she stopped running after she got far enough away from me that I couldn't have grabbed her, but also not far enough away that I couldn't see her. So she stopped and she looked back at me to see, what I was going to do. And I noticed that she had ran away, but then I just completely ignored her. I did not chase her. I didn't say anything. I just kept working as if she hadn't even ran out of the house. And then Juju started to slowly inch back towards me, and then when I looked up and saw that she was coming back towards me, she stopped and she started to run again, because all she was trying to do was just get my attention. Like, hey, I want you to notice that I'm running away. This is when you're supposed to chase me, right? Because that's what she was used to happening. That was her normal conditioned response to this situation. But then I didn't chase her. I just ignored her and kept doing whatever it was that I was doing. And eventually, about 10, 15 minutes went by. Juju stayed out there. She sniffed around in the grass, peed, did whatever she was going to do. And then about 15 minutes go by, she just walked right back in the house on her own. I opened the door and she went right back in the house and laid down, and she was done. She didn't even need to do anything else. So I realized that, okay, if I don't chase this dog, she's not going to run away. And the whole thing with Juju, the dog, was it was the game of being chased that was making her run. It wasn't the fact that she needed to get out and just run around on her own. Because if she wanted to do that, she didn't have to get caught. She would allow herself to get caught after about 45 minutes of running, because she had got all her energy out. But the whole game for her was, a human's going to chase me and I'm going to run away. But when no human was chasing her, then the game no longer existed. And so, but again, I tell you this story, that the day that I didn't chase her and she came back, I was by myself. So then about a week or so later, I don't remember, maybe it was more than a week, I was at this house again. Juju gets out again, and Juju's owner was home this time. All right, this female friend of mine. And I told her, so Juju gets out, right? And I'm like, I'm not going to chase her because she's going to come back. If we don't run after her, she's not going to come back. But then Juju's owner didn't really want to hear this. She was not rationally thinking the way that I was. She hadn't been there the day that I had allowed the dog to just come back on her own, and it was her dog. So she decided to go chase after the dog, and 45 minutes later she came back with the dog. She wasn't even trying to hear me explain to her, like, yo, if you don't chase the fucking dog, the dog's not going to run away. But anyway, I'm telling you all of that story to let you know, that last part right there, how an owner wouldn't even listen to the point that I was trying to explain to her. Don't chase the dog and the dog's not going to run. That's how most of you are in life. When it comes to your opportunities, when it comes to the things that you actually want, you're chasing after the dog, and the dog is only running away because you keep chasing it. Now, if you would stop chasing the dog, then you would pretty much have what you want. But because you are conditioned, as Cesar Millan said, the human is the one who needs the training, not the dog. Because you are conditioned to chase after the dog keeps running away. You're spending all this time, all this energy, all this money trying to chase down the dog, and maybe sometimes you catch it, maybe sometimes you don't, but you expend a lot of your resources in trying to do it. We need to fix this issue. We need to train you, the human, and rehabilitate the dog, which is the opportunity. That's what we're going to do here today. Point number one. Today's topic, once again, is what you chase runs away from you. First thing you need to understand is you got to stop being so damn thirsty. Everybody here knows what thirsty means, right? And I don't mean thirsty as in you need you're parched and you need to quench your thirst. I'm talking about stop being so thirsty when it comes to chasing after the opportunities that you want. In episode number 736, the topic was how to hustle without being thirsty. All right, even if you're in, let's say, for example, in business, or if you're a business owner and you need some clients right now because money's getting low and the bills are going to be due and you got to pay the rent, or if you're an employee looking for a job, you're unemployed right now, you want to be an employee somewhere, but you don't have a job right now, even when you're broke or close to broke, or you will be broke if things don't go the way you need them to go, don't act like you're broke. Even if you're thirsty, don't act thirsty. When you're hungry, don't act like you're starving. If things are not working in your favor, you do not have to hang your head all day and beg and plead for someone to give you an opportunity because you're on the brink of everything falling apart. If you have no resume in your industry, whatever it is you're doing, that doesn't mean you have to carry yourself as if you're a nobody. Thirsty, the whole definition of being thirsty, and this is something that gets passed around in just cultural lingo, is when someone wants something, but they're so desperate in going after it that it's almost like, even if you are qualified for the thing that you want, even if the thing that you want, if it happens to involve other people, they may be interested in working with you. But when you're so eager, when you're so desperate in going after it, when you're chasing after the dog so hard, it's almost like the dog has to run away because you're chasing it. That's exactly how it works. You don't want to be so thirsty that you want something so much that you're so needy that something seems off, and it starts to push people away energetically. It's not that there's anything wrong with your offer or there's anything wrong with you or your background, your resume, your qualifications. It's just that your energy's off, and people notice that. These are the type of things that we notice unconsciously about other people. Like, okay, this person's saying all the right things. On paper, everything looks okay, but there's just something not right about this person. You ever dealt with somebody like that, where it just seems like they're saying the right things, they're doing the right things, they present themselves fine enough, but something's just not right. And you can't always put your finger on exactly what it is. And sometimes just the fact that somebody's just a little bit too damn thirsty. You got to stop being so thirsty about opportunities. Don't be so needy going after something that it pushes people away. In the sales world, the saying goes, people love to buy, but they don't like to be sold. What that means is, if you're the person who is making the offer, the sales offer, people want to buy into whatever it is that you have, if it's for them, but they don't want to feel like you forced them to make the buying decision. They want to feel like they decided to make the buying decision and you just happen to be the person that they bought from. What that means is, we like to do things when we know that it's our choice, when we did it on our own volition, not that you, as a salesperson, forced it upon us. And every one of us is a salesperson in some way in life. So anytime you're trying to persuade or influence another person into making a certain decision, you are the salesperson. And I got a ton of episodes here where we talked about sales on the Work on Your Game show. Sales Concepts 101 was episode 1299. Talk about your number one sales tool in episode 667. How to sell without being salesy in episode 625. Developing your sales mindset, episode 1247. So you need to look into those. If you are not a game group member, you may not have access to all of them, but you can also get all these episodes a la carte. They will all be soon available. We're working on that right now, putting that all together, structuring that all together. You'll be hearing about that here on this show if you're not a game group member already, or even if you are a game group member already. Even if you really want something in life, you don't want other people to feel like you're ramming your ideas down their throats. Or even if you think they need the idea, you want to get it to them, and you need to be determined in getting that idea to other people's minds. But at the same time, the finesse of it is, you want them to feel like they chose it instead of you forcing them to make that decision. All right, they have to feel like it's their choice. Fabulous, the rapper Fabulous, said, even when you're hungry, never move like you're starving. That's what I mean by not being thirsty in life. So even when you really, really want something, don't act like you really, really want it. All right, that's the game that you have to learn how to play. Not being thirsty. Again, that's episode 736. Stop being thirsty in life. Point number 2. Today's topic is what you chase runs away from you. Let's talk about hopes versus expectations. Hope, H-O-P-E, is when you are desiring an outcome, but there's not much that you can do about it. So I hope that the weather is nice, next Wednesday, because I got an outdoor event planned. There's not really anything I can do about the weather outside, but the event is outside and it is happening next Wednesday. So I can only hope that things go the way that I want it. I'm desiring an outcome, but I can't do anything about it. That's hope. Okay. Hope is kind of passive. Right? You can't really do anything with hope. All you can do is just keep hoping. You can pray. I mean, you can meditate on it. You can have yourself feeling positive energy about it, but you can't really affect the outcome of what's going to happen. Expectation, on the other hand, is something that is supported by actions. It's followed up. It's added to with actions that support your belief. See, when you expect rain outside, you carry an umbrella. If you're going to be outside, that is. When you expect it, if you live in somewhere like South Florida, but you're traveling to a place that is not known for having such a warm climate, especially if it's winter time or the fall season, you're probably going to pack a jacket or a coat or plan on buying one as soon as you land at the airport, because you know the weather's not going to be the same, or you're expecting the weather to not be the same. When you expect rain, you carry an umbrella. When you go on vacation, let's say, for example, when you expect to work out while you're on vacation, even though you may not actually get around to doing it, you'll pack your gym shoes. Why? Because you have an expectation of exercising. If you only hope to exercise and then you don't pack the shoes, then you probably don't really expect it, and you probably end up not doing it. When you expect things to happen for you, ladies and gentlemen, you carry a completely different energy with you than if you were merely hoping for things to happen. If I hope something's going to happen, then I'm thinking about it, and then I just got to sit back and wait and see what actually happens. If I expect something to happen, then I'm going to take certain actions to prepare for the thing that I expect to occur. Do you understand the difference between the two? When you expect something, you don't have to chase after it, and you don't have to force the issue because you know it's happening already. If I expect it to rain, I'm not going outside doing the rain dance, and I'm not praying that it rains. All I'm doing is carrying an umbrella. I already expect that to happen. I don't have to stress about it. I don't have to keep thinking about it. I'm able to sleep well the previous night because I know that the rain is going to come. All I got to do is carry an umbrella, so when it comes, I'm ready for it. That's expectation. Expectation is I already know this is going to happen, and I'm already taking actions preparing for the outcome that I know is going to occur. When you're hoping for something to occur, then you may stress yourself out about it. You're thinking about it. You're very passive because it's not really anything you can do. You can just sit there and wait until that occurrence either occurs or until it doesn't occur. But when you expect something, you already get everything else ready for what it's going to be. For example, if you expect, when I was growing up, every year we put up a Christmas tree, right? Around the Christmas holiday season, maybe right after Thanksgiving. And every year when we expected to get that Christmas tree, my father would usually go get the tree. My mother would set up the space where the Christmas tree would be. We would move things out of the way in the living room. She would lay down the little rug that goes outside of I forget what we call that. The little rug that goes outside of Christmas, the Christmas tree skirt, I guess is what they call that, on the floor there. She would put out the stand that you need to put the Christmas tree on. She'd pull out of the closet or out of the garage or out of the basement the container that had all the Christmas tree ornaments that you only use once a year for a month or so. And we would get the space ready for the Christmas tree because we knew that the Christmas tree was eventually going to show up, even though she wasn't the one who was going to get the tree or buying the tree or any of that. My dad was going to go buy the tree, but she expected it to happen. So she started setting everything up for that thing to occur. It's the same way that if you expect to go to the gym tomorrow morning, those of you who go to the gym every day, you set your clothes up the night before usually. You don't wake up that morning and say, all right, now what am I going to wear to the gym? What shoes do I need to wear? What else do I need to bring? If you're doing it on a regular basis, you expect it to happen. So you already have it ready before you even get to that opportunity. I expect to record new content every single day, whether that's a live stream, whether I'm doing something on Instagram stories or Facebook story, whether it's a YouTube video, whether it's this show right here, I expect to do it. Therefore, I always got my tripods ready. I got my lighting ready. I got my stands ready. I got my notes ready. I have new ideas ready. I have the microphones ready. I have these things ready because I expect to do it. Now, if you're hoping for something to happen now, you just got to wait and see if it happens or it doesn't. But expectation is followed up by action, or it's preceded by action. That's even a better way of looking at it. You expect something, you're taking actions before it even occurs. You expect, let's say if you are expecting a child, whether you're the male or the female, and there's a child expected to be moving in with you, what do? You need to get a space for the kid ready. Maybe you set up aside a whole room for the baby. Maybe there's space in your bedroom for the baby. Maybe space in your living room for the baby. But then you need to get a crib. You need to get some clothes. You need to get some diapers. You got to go to the doctor. You got to figure out who's going to be the person who delivers your baby. You're going to do an in-home birth. You're going to do a water birth. You're going to do a natural birth. What are you going to do? You start setting up all these things. Why? Because you're expecting something to occur. There's a huge difference between hopes and expectations, and we're talking about what you chase runs away from you. See, you don't have to chase the fact that the baby's going to arrive. The baby's coming whether you want it to or not, right? Most of the time. So your expectations are not, all right, let me pray that this baby comes. All right, no, you know the baby's coming on a certain time frame. All right, the doctor can give you a pretty close estimate of when it's going to happen and what to expect when it's coming, and then you start setting everything else up because you know it's on the way. All right, when you know something's happening already, the actions that come before it are just confirming that. Point number 3, Today's topic is what you chase runs away from you. What should you do instead of chasing after things? Instead of chasing after the dog that runs away only because you keep chasing it, what should you do instead? Because, well, this is a question that has to be answered. This is something that needs to be addressed. And the reason why is these days, especially in the Western world, we are all conditioned, like Caesar Milan talked about, we're conditioned to do certain things over and over again, not necessarily because they work, not because they're efficient, not because they're the smartest thing to do, but because if we're not doing anything, we feel like we're falling behind. We feel like we're losing. We feel like we're not doing anything. We feel like we're being worthless because we're not doing something. I got to be doing something right now. If I'm not doing anything, then it's almost like I'm losing. It's almost like I'm failing. I'm falling behind. I'm not serving myself. I'm not serving anybody else. I got to be doing something. So you need something. If you create this vacuum, if you're no longer chasing after the dog, which will take you 45 minutes, you just let the dog come back. All right, what are you going to do with that energy? And what are you going to do with that 45 minutes? You need something else to do with it, right? Here's what you do. You got to learn to use the law of attraction properly. And the law of attraction is a concept that has been bastardized and used by people who, I guess they call themselves being realists, telling you that the law of attraction doesn't work. That if you just sit in the room and expect something to happen, that doesn't mean it's going to happen. That's not what the law of attraction is. So people have bastardized it simply by they've created a straw man argument for what the law of attraction is, but that's not how the law of attraction works. The law of attraction is about making yourself feel how you would feel if you already had what you wanted, and then because you feel the way that you would feel if you already had what you wanted, you're going to take the actions that coincide with that feeling, that coincide with that having, that coincide with those results. And that's how you create the actual outcomes. So the law of attraction is not just thinking and feeling, it's also doing. Now, the thinking and feeling come first, then the doing comes after. That's how the law of attraction works. So you make yourself feel as if you already have the things that you want. You can use anything that will help you get to that feeling and stay in that feeling. Whether it's a certain song that you like, you got a playlist, there's videos that you watch, there's audios that you downloaded, there's a passage from a book, there's a tweet that you saved. Whatever it is that you need to do to get yourself into the right feeling / energy that will attract the type of mindset that you want to be in, then the actions will automatically come with it. For example, if you're a person who hasn't been the best at staying in shape and committing to working out and doing your exercises every day, whatever that exercise may be, if you put yourself in the frame of mind of a person who's already in great shape, the person who's already doing the things that they're supposed to do, or maybe how you were when you used to be in great shape and you were following through going to the gym all the time, how would you feel different? You would feel like a person who, okay, I know I'm not going to eat that chocolate because that's not good for my body, or I'm going to push away from the dinner table because I'm already full, or I'm not going to drink, I'm not going to have that last drink, I'm not going to drink this fruit juice, I'm going to drink some water instead and give me a protein shake with some kale mixed into it because this is better for my fitness. And instead of me just going to bed right now, what I'm going to do is lay out my gym clothes for tomorrow morning, because that's the energy. When you have the energy of that person, you're going to do what that person does. Again, that could be a past version of yourself. It could be a future ideal version of yourself. It could be what somebody else does. You can use someone else as an example. So if you're not in great shape right now, think of somebody who is in great shape, and then ask yourself, without even knowing that person, ask yourself, what would this person do? This person's in really good shape. I'm not in good shape. What do they do the night before they're supposed to be in the gym in the morning? They probably lay their clothes out. And again, these are things that you can reasonably think about. What does this person do that put them in a position to do what they're doing? They probably lay their clothes out the night before. They probably have an idea of what kind of exercise they're going to do before they actually show up to the gym. They got an idea where they're going to be exercising. They got an idea when to start, when to stop. They have a routine that they're doing. You can come up with all those things. It's not that you're going to be perfect at it from the beginning, but there's nothing stopping you from taking these steps There's nothing stopping you taking these steps before the action even occurs. You put yourself in the frame of mind of someone who already has what you want to have. Most of the actions that would need to be taken, again, you may not be perfect at it. Most of the strategies, the tactics, a reasonable thinking individual, and if you happen to listen to a podcast, you are a reasonable thinking individual, you can figure these things out and you can start taking the actions that will get you in the right direction. These are not mysteries, ladies and gentlemen. These are not unsolved problems that nobody's ever figured out. And you, again, you don't have to read any books to figure these things out. All you got to do is think a little bit. Challenge yourself to think. You already know what you need to do. You're just not doing it. So instead of wasting your energy on the things that are not working, like chasing after the dog, use your energies to attract the mindset that you know you would need to be in to get to the outcome that you want to get to. Let's use another example. let's say you're a business person and you're a solopreneur right now. It's just you and your business. There's no one working with you, no one working for you, no contractors, no employees, but you want to make your business bigger. You want to do more in business. The problem is you're working 10-hour days and every second is filled up with you doing something, and there's no way you can take your business to a higher level because you don't have the time, energy, or attention or focus to do anything other than what you're already doing, and that's just maintaining the business. So what would you do? Well, let's ask ourselves a better question. Here's the better question. Or someone who has some people working for them, who has more efficiency in their business, who's able to take their business to a higher level because they're able to work from a higher level on their business instead of working in their business in the trenches so much. What are they doing that I'm not doing? What's in their mindset that's not in my mindset? Well, one thing in their mindset probably is they find other people to do tasks that they don't need to be doing. Every task that you're doing in your business, anyone listening to this who's working 10 hours a day as a solopreneur, I guarantee you're doing some things that you're not the only person in the world can do them. And you can probably afford to hire somebody else to do them. And it doesn't cost that much money. You can find someone else to do some of those things, which then you're exchanging your money for time. You freed up some of your time. Now you can move to a higher level in your work and you can start working on things that'll take your business to a different level. Again, is this news to you? All right, is this a brand new concept to you? No, it's not. You can do this. All you got to do, this is the law of attraction. It's not the law of attraction the way most people explain it or use it, but this is the law of attraction. The law of attraction is put yourself in the frame of mind of having what you want to have. And because you're in that frame of mind, the actions that are necessary to make that frame of mind real, to back up that frame of mind, to serve as a foundation for that frame of mind, they will come to you. The actions are automatic. The actions come with the energy. Actions follow energy. The challenge that many of us have in life is that we are running around looking for the tactics and the strategies and the how-tos and the what-to-dos, when instead we need to be looking for the mindsets and the mental games and the energies. When you have those, the mindset, the mental game, the energy, the actions will automatically flow from that energy. But when you have all these tactics and how-tos and what-to-dos, but the energy is not right, even if you follow them to a T, you're not going to quite get the right result. Why? Because the energy is not right that's coming from behind it. This is the way that it works. So if you can change your mindset, you can perform this mental alchemy to turn things around, to look at things from the energy aspect first, the mindset aspect first, then the actions. This is the principle of be, do, have, in that order. When you do that, that's when you start getting the results that you want. Challenge many of us have is, again, we jump right into the doing part, never focus on the being part. And of course it doesn't work out. What do you expect? You won't have to figure out what to do when energy you're feeling is telling you exactly what to do. You don't have to think at all because the energy is directing you. And in my Bulletproof Mindset course, I'll show you exactly how that's done. Go to workonmygame.com/bulletproof and you can get that whole being part right. The doing and having, those are automatic when it comes behind it. And you're going to get some bonuses behind that will help you make sure that your doing and having is all in order, in fact. So let's recap today's topic, which is what you chase runs away from you. I told you about this dog that would always run away from the house, not because the dog really needed to run away. It was only because humans were chasing behind it. When I stopped chasing behind it, the dog stopped running away. It's simply how it works in life. Point number one, stop being thirsty. Even if you are thirsty, don't act thirsty. Episode 736, how to hustle without being thirsty. I talked about this. Even if you're broke, don't act broke. If things are not working, you don't have to hang your head all day. If you have no resume, you don't have to act like a nobody. Thirsty is when you want something, which is fine to want things, but you're so needy about it that going after it, something seems off to other people and it ends up pushing people away. So go after things, but don't go after them in desperation. In sales, the saying is people like to buy, but they don't like to be sold. Meaning everyone wants to feel like they made their own decision to do something with you. They don't want to feel like you forced them to make that decision. If they feel like they're being forced, then they're going to resist. That's the way it works in life. You push against somebody, they're going to push back. You stop pushing, they'll stop pushing. Even if you really want something, don't make other people feel like you're forcing it. They had to feel like they chose it. Like the rapper Fabulous said, even when you're hungry, never move like you're starving. Point number two. Hopes versus expectations. Hope is when you're desiring an outcome, but you can't do much about it. You have to passively wait and see what happens. Expectation is supported by actions that support the belief. So when you expect rain, you'll carry an umbrella because you believe it'd be dumb to get wet because you didn't have one. When you go on vacation, you expect to work out on your vacation, you pack gym shoes. When you expect things to happen for you, you have a completely different energy than if you are merely hoping things happen for you. When you expect something, you don't have to chase it or force the issue. You know it's happening already. Point number three, what do you do instead of chasing after the dog Use the law of attraction the proper way, which is be first, do second, have third. In other words, make yourself feel. Adopt the mindset of how you would be if you already had what you wanted in life. Use anything that'll help you get to that state. And when you have the right feeling or energy, the actions will automatically, they will naturally flow from it. You won't even have to force it. You won't have to figure out what to do because the energy you're feeling will tell you exactly what to do. Work on your game. Dre all day.